What's going on, Mutha truckers? I want to get into this real quick. President Trump actually updates the timeline for the heavy-duty truck tariffs and adds medium-duty trucks to this line, right? He stated that he wanted to do this on October 1st, and then we didn't hear anything else. And then he comes out with this post right here and says that he's going to remove it and add medium duty trucks to the mix. And so just want to share this information for you guys right here. It says, beginning now November 1st of 2025, all medium and heavy duty trucks coming into the United States from other countries will be tariffed at the rate of 25%. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, wants to bring manufacturing back. Now, here's the problem with that. You talk about international, you talk about even Freightliner. They're built and completed in Mexico. And so for all the fleets and drivers that have invested a lot of money in Freightliners, yeah, the price is going to go up. And of course, parts for Peterbilt and Kenworth, you name it, they actually do not all actually create it in America. President Trump wants to bring a lot of this back into America. But as of now, do you think this is a good thing, or do you think this is a bad thing for the trucking industry? Would love to hear from you guys for that. Now let's get into our question of the day. In this situation right here from this dash cam video that truck drivers have been sending me, what do you do in this regard? Do you just pull back, or do you fight the good fight? Because, right here, this road rage, it needs to stop. But if you were the one that had that dash cam, do you think this driver was in the right for what they did or the wrong? Or do you think he should have just pulled back? Now, I've been in a situation like this, and when I called the cops, they absolutely do nothing.
Yeah, hello? My location is southbound I-69. I have a semi that I have it on camera and everything. This guy trying to run me off the road.
Drivers are sending this to me right here from Minnesota Big Rigs Post. It states that a secret new international prototype has come out. They saw this at a truck stop. And if you can see, usually when they do these prototypes, they put this cool wrap on it. When you look at this picture right here, what are your thoughts? To me, it kind of looks just like the international that I've seen before. So, tell me, are you seeing big differences here? But yeah, Mutha truckers, comment down below. There's a new international in the wild. So, tell me your thoughts about this. Now, before you guys hate, my uncle drove international trucks, and one of my first trucks was a Pro Eagle, and I had an International Pro Stars. And honestly, I defend that to the teeth, because my uncle is definitely my mentor, and whatever type of truck he got for moving furniture, that's exactly what I bought as well.
An hour later, I don't want to fill all the way up, because tomorrow I want to fill up a little bit again so that I can get another free shower. Oh, there goes $300. Man, there till Monday. But the thing about it is, where I'm going, there's no bathrooms. I'm going to a warehouse. There's no bathrooms or anything like that. So I'm not in no rush to get there.
Now, did it have a Lisa Cummins engine? Yes. Did it give me a crap load of problems? Oh, yeah. But that's trucking. That can happen to anybody. So, just defending the internationals for a second here, but right here, what do you think about this new prototype? Now, a very famous YouTuber that I've watched and definitely has built some cool semi-trucks as well, was just recently arrested in Salt Lake City on October 7th, 2025. says that after a federal judge issued a bench warrant for him in connection with a long-running lawsuit. So if you guys don't remember about this, the arrest is tied not to a new crime, but to a civil contempt of court for failing to comply with court orders. In this lawsuit, specifically, Sparks had been found liable under the Clean Air Act in a lawsuit filed by Utah Physicians for a Healthy Environment. The court determined that he and his co-defendants had violated emission regulations by selling or modifying diesel trucks or parts that bypass emissions control systems. So basically in 2020, the court ordered that he pay a significant fine. They stated around $850,000 for those violations, and later additional legal fees were imposed. So as of 2025, what they're stating is that Sparks had not fully paid the required amount, about $843,602 remaining owed, and had not complied with other court orders such as disclosing finances, not hiding assets, etc. Because of the non-compliance, the court found him in contempt and issued a warrant to his arrest until he purchases the contempt, pays the fines, or obeys the orders. I got in contact with a buddy that knew a little bit more about this, that was from Utah, and so this was the information here on that. It says originally sued for $114 million. Says they won $750,000 penalties plus attorney fees. Sparks appealed 10th Circuit's reverse Judge Shelby and told him to lower the amount. Judge Shelby lowered the penalties to $550,000 plus attorney fees. Now the attorney fees were set at $843,000. Sparks paid about $350,000 of the penalties so far. Therefore, the outstanding balance is $200,000 penalties owed to the U.S. Treasury. Now, from the $843,000 in attorney fees, but their attorneys reserve the right to increase the award to account for attorney fees he incurred in the last 2 years. In court, their attorney was asked by the court, "What's a ballpark of your fees?" He said around $1.6 million to date, but he has never asked for it in court. So if you add that $1.6 of attorney fees plus a $500,000 award, it's roughly $2.1 million, give or take. So wow. So it says that his companies were judged to have repeatedly violated the Clean Air Act, which is federal law regarding emissions of pollutants. And this is like my buddy Troy Lakes going through something like this, deleting trucks. Yet he didn't mean to do it. He's a good friend of mine. He was just trying to help drivers out. But even Lee Zeldin himself is saying that, after the Chevron doctrine and everything, the EPA didn't have the right to make up their own rules with this Clean Air Act.
A lot of hyperbole, scare tactics, extreme rhetoric that will come from climate zealots. Here's the thing. The Supreme Court ruled in Loper Bright and overturning the Chevron doctrine, in West Virginia versus EPA, Michigan versus EPA, and other cases, that an agency like EPA can't just decide on our own, that we are going to get creative with law, and where there's a vacuum and missing language, we're just going to make it up ourselves.
So why are these people getting in trouble for this? Mud truckers, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts about this. If you watched Diesel Brothers or seen Heavy D. But just following up with the story and giving you guys some information on that. But this is something that also affects the trucking community, because my buddy Troy Lakes, he is being pretty much put in the same light for something like this. And he did go to prison for this. It's crazy. We're doing our best right now to get him pardoned by President Trump. And we do have a petition down below that if you guys want to sign, it would be great to help out this guy. He's a wonderful guy, cares about the trucking community. And I just feel like the EPA can't do this. And when your big boss, Lee Zeldin, is saying that you can't do this, why are people getting arrested and thrown in jail for this? My truckers, comment down below. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Talk to you guys tomorrow.